be muzzled or tamed. This Constitution's our shield, forever untamed. From the mountains to the prairies, from sea to shining sea, we defend this sacred right. It's what sets us free. God bless the USA, where the truth can still be told. Freedom of speech forever. Bold, brave, and bold. 5 pillars standing strong, holding up the sky. Religion, speech, press, assembly, petition. That's why no government boot on our neck, no overreach in sight. The founders wrote it ironclad to keep the power right. They knew tyrants would come, try to twist and control, but these words in the parchment protect every soul. From the farmer in the field to the factory hand, your voice is your weapon across this blessed land. Freedom of speech, let it ring out loud and clear. The First Amendment's standing tall, year after year. We won't be silenced, we won't be muzzled or tamed. This Constitution's our shield, forever untamed. From the mountains to the prairies, from sea to shining sea, we defend this sacred right. It's what sets us free. God bless the USA, where the truth can still be told. Freedom of speech forever. Bold, brave, and bold. They'll try to cancel, they'll try to shadow ban, label hate speech what they don't understand. Big tech, big government, colluding in the dark. But we got the First Amendment, lighting up the spark. No law can gag the preacher, no rule can hush the crowd, no censor can drown the patriot shouting proud. This ain't just paper, it's blood, sweat, and fight. The heartbeat of liberty, burning through the night. So raise your voice high when the storm winds blow. Defend the right to speak, let the whole world know. From Cape Coral shores to the Rockies peak, we guard this freedom, it's ours to keep. The Constitution stands like a rock in the stream, protecting us all from the tyrant's bad dream. No king, no committee, no elite decree can never take away what makes us truly free. Freedom of speech, let it ring out loud and clear. The First Amendment's standing tall, year after year. We won't be silenced, we won't be muzzled or tamed. This Constitution's our shield, forever untamed. From the mountains to the prairies, from sea to shining sea, we defend this sacred right. It's what sets us free. God bless the USA, where the truth can still be told. Freedom of speech forever. Bold, brave, and bold. Freedom of speech forever. Bold. Yeah. sound of liberty ringing. First Amendment strong, America forever. God bless the USA!
All right, we're here. This is it. This is the big show, the really big show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sights and Sounds of Earth. My name's Ian, and this is live worldwide on YouTube on Starship Studios, Starship Adventures, live from Starship Studios in North Fort Myers, and broadcasting fiber optic all the way to the internet. Welcome, 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 everybody. We are the day after the first of the big disclosure, and I must admit I'm having a lot of difficulty parsing these files. They released a lot of other files too that don't even have to do with UFOs. I'm surprised, to be honest. There's stuff in there from military personnel being allowed to come back to work after refusing to get the COVID shot and stuff like that. So I found it interesting that there was a lot of non-related files in there as well. I had AI parse all of the PDFs for me and went back and looked at what it parsed, and what it parsed was a bunch of PDFs that I don't see on the website and vice versa. So I don't know what happened. I ended up with a bunch of documents. They're probably going to come looking for me at some point. I don't know. Matt, yeah, the government is purposely complicated. That's true. And a lot of times the government tries to complicate you out of figuring things out. They try to complicate you out of filing for benefits. They try to complicate you out of filing complaints on officers and things like that. The government's famous for that, and I completely agree with you. However, you may be implying more intelligence than exists here. I'm not sure. I don't know as much as I think they're just releasing everything, and it's just a bunch. It's just, these people ain't no more organized than we are, you know? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, today is Armed Forces Radio Day. Yeah, and I know there is a few events going on out there. Yeah, the military does work with amateur radio to a degree. There's a few contests, and there's also Mars and stuff like that where there's exercises between civilian radio operators, ham radio operators, and the military. I never really got involved with it, so I can't speak a lot about it, but all right, well, let's see what we got here. There's a few different things going on tonight. I told you guys last night about that Georgia mayor that fired the entire police department. Yeah, well, they were all reinstated today by the city council. I keep telling you guys about, people are always talking about how corrupt these big cities are. They're no more or less corrupt than little towns. They're no more or less corrupt than small counties. Big county. Down here, we got Metro-Dade, big corrupt county. But you can go to some little dinky county in the middle of the state that has a population 1/40th of the size of that big county, and you find corruption. It's just not as big, it's not as bad, it's not as bold, but it's there. Sometimes these good old boy sheriffs and stuff commit a lot of violations against our civil rights and stuff, and a lot of these little city councils don't bother doing public information requests. They kick people out of town hall and trespass people from city property and all this. And so let's just not always think that corruption, it revolves around big blue cities. There's corruption in every town. I mean, I worked for a small independent taxing district fire department, and we had corruption all the time. We had people getting on our board of commissioners for nefarious purposes. We had people that would purposely do things to cost us money, and we had very little money to work on, under $1 million budget. And yet we had people attacking us every year, trying to get us to spend up all this money. The unions attacking us, trying to get in our department because we were non-union. It's crazy, but there's corruption everywhere. You know, when the union starts seating union members on your fire district board because they want to force you to go union, that's corruption. That's what it looks like. And so it existed in these little small places just like it exists in these big places. But anyway, it does look like there was a step in the right direction here. The sign that says that the mayor has dissolved the PD has been taken down. The PD, the lights are on tonight, and the men and women of that agency are out protecting the streets. So, you know, look, you're not always going to agree, but these little mayors and these little chiefs, little police chiefs, and these sheriffs, they're the worst. They're the worst. And so don't always just resolve yourself that corruption is a product of a big city. It's not. Corruption is a product of humanity. It's literally a product of humanity, and it exists everywhere that humans exist. And I don't know, I don't even know how you could argue with me on that point. I could prove it. It's everywhere. Even the best among us, our police officers, our firefighters, people, astronauts that go to space. There's corruption everywhere. There's corruption at every level of government, whether we're talking about hyacinth control taxing districts down here, or mosquito control taxing districts, or small independent fire districts. They all have their corruption. They all go through it. They all have people that are all on there for personal gain, doing things to help certain groups of people and not the whole of the community. That's all corruption. And a lot of times we find them on the take somehow. So I just like to point that out, that we cannot always just assume that corruption happens in the big cities, because it actually happens just a little bit of everywhere. We've got 2 or 3 other stories here I'm going to go through, but I wanted to find the rest of the information on this one real quick, but it has moved down the page since I saw it last, now that it's being resolved. Well, anyway, let's just suffice to say the council got together and gave them their job back. Now, what's going to happen? I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully this mayor is ousted, is what I'm hoping. He did all this because some of the cops wrote some shit about his wife on YouTube or on Facebook or something. That's how stupid it is. Yeah, and white-collar, corrupt politicians and cops generally don't do a hard time like the rest of us. What is up with Mark Hamill? The guy that played Luke Skywalker. He has gone off the deep end, ladies and germs. Off the deep end. All right? What is with this guy? I think one too many lightsabers to the noggin or something. Yeah, if he had the Force, he's lost it, okay? This guy's gone off the deep end. He's posting pictures of a dead Donald Trump in front of his tombstone, laying on the dirt. The guy's off the deep end. He's absolutely off the deep end. And this, I don't know what it is about Hollywood, but it makes a lot of the people that end up in Hollywood, like Mark Hamill, it makes them crazy. It makes them nuts. You know, Harrison Ford's nuts too, but in a better way. You know, he's kind of like fruits and nuts. You know, it's pretty nice. But Mark Hamill, the guy that played Luke Skywalker, he's off the effing deep end nuts. I mean, nuts and balls up to here. This guy's crazy. And I don't know what he's thinking. but he's playing with a rattlesnake, and Trump's already been freaking calling him out on it. Um, I guess he's old, he's wrinkled up, he's played that part so many times he can't play it again, and so I guess at this point he figures, well, the only to do I got left is to just be an anti-Trumper as hard as I freaking can, you know. May the ignorance be with him. You know what I mean? Whatever. What an amazing piece of shit. All right, so I just wanted to put that out there. I just wanted to say for the record that Luke Skywalker's a piece of shit, okay? And there, I said it. It's on the record now. I feel better about that. And you know what? You know how in life sometimes you have these times where everything that comes to you is about one thing or the other? In the last 4 days, I've had 10 or 12 different things pop up or be mentioned to me or talked about on the air with me or mentioned by my coworkers. This week, it's the movie Smokey and the Bandit. I know, I love that movie. It's one of my top 10 all time. Shit. I think I just had an internet failure, but it came back up. I think I'm still on. Everything started working again. Star Wars went woke. Everything's gone woke. Star Trek's gone woke. They're getting ready to remake Stargate SG-1. I think it's going to be more of a continuation than a remake, I hope. That way they can still bring in the old characters, you know. If you do a continuation, you can now do it in 2025 technology, but we've had the Stargate for 20 years, and it would be like a whole new set of things happening out there. I think it would be really cool. We could still then have Richard Dean Anderson and the other people that played. Those 4 people that played on SG-1 are just really great actors. I really want to see them all come back as their older selves to help out, you know, in whatever's going on in the episode. However, I am deathly afraid that these bastards are going to mess it up. I'm deathly afraid that these pricks are actually going to just totally screw it up. Let me see if I can get something on that real quick. Hold on just a second. I guess the membership numbers for ARRL for the last year are out. I'm trying to get that information. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the American Radio Relay League, which was the premier #1 place where all amateur radio people gather, and so on and so forth. It's not doing well. It's really not doing well. I'm getting weird notifications that I'm offline, but I'm showing that I'm getting a return, so I must still be broadcasting. Okay, so where is they peaked out in 2015. The modern peak was at 166,000 members, and then it has slowly fallen off now down to about 137 members, 157,000. So 100 and from their peak at 166,000, they're now down to 137,000. But yet during that same time, their CEO went from $170,000 a year to $370,000 a year, plus leave and benefits. This is a joke. Yeah, it has not been doing well, and it continues to fail, and it needs to fail. It needs to fail so that we can hopefully get something else in there that actually is effective and it actually works. When an organization gets to the point where the CEO and the top 20 people that work there are making like 50% of the money that they make, it's ridiculous. They spend more money on salaries than everything else combined. If you put lobbying, recruiting, even fundraising, when you put all of their budget together, more money is spent on manpower, on hiring these 20 or 40 very high paid people than is spent on the entire club. They raised their dues $9 a month, took away the print, or $9 a year, took away the printed magazine and put it online, which a lot of the older guys like the printed magazine. They did all that in the same year, and in that same year they gave their CEO a $45,000 raise in 1 year. Guys, it's corrupt. People get in there and they start making all this gravy train, and they don't have to do anything. They show up a couple days a week. They show their friggin' face around the office. They're in Dayton or wherever the hell they're at now, and they just do their thing, and they're making all this money. And this was supposed to be a volunteer organization. It was originally run by all volunteers, and now today we're spending $7.6 million a year on salaries. That leaves about $7 million for everything else, including office supplies, operating costs, recruiting, equipment, keeping up with things that are broke, janitorial services. When you add up every single other thing, it's less than their salaries. It's ridiculous. No code saved ham radio. There's no truer statement said, Don. There isn't. I'm dyslexic. I couldn't pass the code test. I tried 5 times. Couldn't pass it. Couldn't pass it. And those old men pricks that were giving us the test each time, they would not let me pass, because me having a license and not being proficient with that key was some kind of sin that would send them straight to hell, apparently. They would not pass me, even though I was with emergency management. I was getting the license to work with the Aries team with emergency management. They didn't give a shit. They didn't care. So I hated the code. To this day, I hate Morse code. I won't listen to it. I won't decode it. I don't want nothing to do with it, because it kept me out of ham radio for 15 years. And so forget about it. The other thing that's saving ham radio is FT8, FT4, and now the brand new FT2 that's come out. Check it out. Go look up WSJTX new version, and you'll see there's a new version out that now has FT2. It is an extremely fast mode, and it's starting to gain popularity. It's got its own set of frequencies. And then the thing that's actually saving voice ham radio, HF, the one thing that's keeping everything going is POTA, Parks on the Air. It truly is. You know, I proposed riots on the air, but that's not taken off yet. So we're going to do POTA, Parks on the Air. No, Parks on the Air is great. I make hunter contacts anytime my car's in the radio. Anytime my radio's in the car, I do. I make my POTA contacts. Hey Heath, we're just talking about ARRL. Their membership's down. Their dues are still $59 a month. We don't know what you get for that. Anyway, yep, the ARRL, their membership down again this year. Down another 12,000 this year. And they, so it is what it is. Not doing all that well. All right, so let's see what else do we got going on here. The other things I wanted to mention. Go watch Smokey and the Bandit. What a great movie. We were just talking about like legacy movies, and again that one came up this week because it is such a great movie. Um, my VTX Joseph, he watched that. I got him to watch it one night. I said, "Here, you got to watch this, man." And I said, "It's a CB movie from the '70s. You got to watch it." And he watched it. It's his favorite movie. He loves that movie now. So I don't think he's in here right now, but that became quickly one of his favorite movies. The cats are doing great. Daddy's outside and Eddie's in my room. And right here, I've got Mama Blee right here in front of the camera. But she's right here. She's licking something right now. I don't know what. POTA is a 24/7 field day. Dom, you got that right. WinLink's okay. I never could get it to work right. I was going to do WinLink, but the software is so incredibly complicated. You have to download like 3 different programs and then get them all to work together. I don't know that I ever got it working. I don't think I signed up for the thing and everything, but I don't think I ever got it working. There's so many things I wanted to do in ham radio, but the programming was just written by people that have never wrote programs before or something. And everything is just really difficult to use. And nothing ever works right. And so WinLink, unfortunately, WinLink is something I never got working. There you go. Yeah, I took my tech and then I went back a couple months later, I did the online Zoom thing and I got my general. And that's all I plan to get. There is absolutely no reason to get an extra license. I mean, unless you just want it or there's an ego reason or whatever, but I can't find a reason. There's a little teeny swath of about 7 different bands that you're not allowed to use if you're not an extra. Or a advanced or whatever, and I don't care. I don't need to talk on those areas. Truth is, I probably talk in them a lot and don't realize I'm even doing it. Yeah, Matt, Ed's in the bedroom. Ed spends a lot of time in my room. He's kind of indoor outdoor. He spends a lot of time in my room with the 2 boys. We've got Littles in there and we got Teddy. I should just go get one of them so you can see him. But Teddy is a huge gray. Teddy fell out from under a car in a parking lot during a rainstorm. I know this sounds crazy, but one of our family members was fueling up his car, blinding lightning storm. He was standing there waiting to fuel up his car, and he looks in front of his car, and there's like a piece of trash in the road. And it starts moving, and he realizes it's a kitten, and it's out in 1.5 inches of water. It's because it's flooding. I mean, when it rains down here, it's like a cow pissing on a flat rock. All right? It ain't like everywhere else. When it rains down here, it's a frog strangler. All right? I mean, it'll rain so hard you can't breathe. And it was doing that, and he looks up and it's moving, and he runs out there in the rain and scoops this little thing, I mean barely old enough to have its eyes open, and the mama must have put him up underneath somebody's vehicle, up in the vehicle. This happens sometimes. And then as they were driving through the parking lot with the water and everything, it washed out from under the vehicle wherever it was hiding. I hope the rest of the brood did okay. And we took him in. We raised him, we bottle fed him, and now he's huge. He's like 20 pounds, completely gray like Ed. He's a little more of a blue gray than a steel gray. I looked into that one a while back, Deploribus. I was just going to get every certification I could get, and then I just kind of, because I went and got all that stuff from FEMA and the Skywarn, and I got the ARRL 01 and 16. I got all the different classes. I even took the media classes and stuff with FEMA, and then I realized the whole Aries thing is just a frickin' joke. And but that was the next one I was looking to take. That one's a little more of a bitch, though. That one's a bitch. That would have been rough for me to take. Yeah. Well, see, that's where the ARRL has screwed up. That's where they screwed the pooch. They should have always been for CB. They should have always been for everything. When GMRS came out, they should have embraced it. They should be for MERS. They should, when FRS came out, they should embrace that. They should embrace all these different things. Preppers, people who are comms people simply because they want to be prepped and ready. You've got all these different groups of people out there, even contesting. ARRL has a few of their own contests, but they really don't do much to support contesting as a whole. You know, there's so many things they could do, but they just don't. ARRL could have got involved in all of this stuff. They shouldn't have been. They're not the amateur radio relay league. You know what I'm saying? They could have been the radio relay league. They could have been, just by thinking a lot wider than they do, they could have just been the radio relay league, and it could have included all the different kinds of radio. And then along the way, we would have picked up GMRS and FRS and MURS and all these different things that have happened out there. And they could have even gotten into Marine Band a little bit. They could have got into all these other things. But they don't. They specifically, and they actually created a culture over the years where that if you're an ARRL member and you're in ham radio, you're supposed to hate all these other forms of communication. You're supposed. I have people give me a hard time because I talk about CB and I like CB, or I talk about whatever GMRS. A lot of ham people are like, oh, I don't do GMRS. Well, so what? The ARRL, that's one of the many things they've done over the years to screw themselves, is not to diversify into other types of radio. D Beard, I think that those 11 episodes should be canon. I think that they're some of the best Star Trek that's ever been produced. I don't mean to overplay it, but I'm going to. I actually love those 11 episodes. And the end one, I think they killed a few more people than they needed to, but the end one there was really good. At the end where he's talking to his crew. I've also watched all of the 6 or 8 different videos on the making of those 11 episodes, which they're fun too. Vic Mignogna, I met him. I've been to his sets. I've walked him. I've done videos. You can go back on my channel and type in Star Trek on the search glass, and you will see I did shows from the bridge of the Enterprise. I did shows from Captain Kirk's quarters, and I did shows from the auxiliary control room. I did a show where I talked about the Doomsday Machine, where Captain Kirk ends up on the Constellation, and Commodore Matt Decker ends up on the Enterprise, and it's my favorite episode of all time. And I got to sit in the auxiliary control room and do a 30-minute talk about that episode. I thought that was really cool, to actually be sitting there in auxiliary control. When I walked around the set, I was in awe. You see the circular aisle first. They open the doors, and there it is. The circular aisleway with the purple lighting and everything, just like in the 60s. And you walk in, and you go into sick bay, and you go into the transporter room, and then you go into the auxiliary control room, and then you go into the captain's quarters, which also reversed to be Spock's quarters or whoever else's quarters it needed to be. And then we walked around the corner. We saw the brig. We saw the Jeffries tube. And we went around the corner, and their bridge was in front of me, and I got emotional. I saw that bridge for the first time in front of me, and I got emotional. I couldn't even talk for a few minutes. I had to stop and take it in. My heart was racing. That was my ship of dreams. I thought my whole life I wanted to visit the USS Enterprise. And they struck those sets right after the show ended in 1969, the year I was born. They struck those sets. And I thought I would never get to be on the Enterprise. I would never actually get to see my ship of dreams. And then Vic Mignogna and another guy, Chris Crawley, up in Ticonderoga, New York, and we can talk about that in a second too, because he did the same thing. His are good too. Not quite, but almost as good as those 11 we're talking about. But I went up, and the guy's like, you can sit in the chair, it's good. I didn't want to sit in the chair out of respect. I was, and I'm wearing, now, this was the first time I had gone, so I'm wearing civilian clothes. I didn't bring any uniforms or anything with me. And so I'm sitting in the chair, and Carlotta was there. She was taking pictures of me and stuff. And I couldn't, I'm sitting there, and I'm looking over the top of the two chairs in front of me in the console, the helm, and they've got a 100-inch TV stuck right, it looks like the view screen. And I'm in standard orbit around a Class M planet. It was really cool. The sound effects were all there. Anyway, that set is now in Sandusky, Ohio, in a shopping mall, because it'll get more exposure that way. I agree with what they did. But you can visit that set, which is configured exactly like it was on the original Desilu set in the late 60s. And you can visit that, and it's really cool. There's another man called Chris Crowley. He's another guy that just absolutely loves Star Trek like the rest of us. And he built his own set of sets. And his sets are just as good as Vic's. Okay, I'm telling you, I can't tell the difference. They're both exacting sets. You can see his sets in Ticonderoga, New York. They're a little more restrictive. Not as many chairs can be sat in. And there might be a few velvet ropes, but for the most part, you can still see everything. I'm just, you guys got to go check these out. So once you watch those 11 with Star Trek Continues, then go find Chris Crowley and find his 10 episodes. I believe they're called Star Trek Phase 2, I think. And find his episodes and watch those. That gives you 21 more episodes of the original series. And these guys are good. They act their heart out. These are untrained actors or B actors. They're none of them are A-list actors. They all did it for free. No one got paid. And so it's from the heart, and it's really good. All right, so I don't want to talk about this too much longer. So check that out. And then after you get done with that, yes, there was the Renegades. There is a movie. Is the movie called Renegades, I think? What is that movie? There's a movie that's worth watching. Nichelle Nichols is in it. And a few of the other original cast members is in it. Of Gods and Men. In 2007, Walter Koenig, who played Chekhov, and the woman that played Lieutenant Uhura, Nichelle Nichols, one of my favorites, they got together with a bunch of other folks, including the guy that played Captain Harriman in Star Trek the movie. He played Captain Harriman of the Second Enterprise. He also was Ferris Bueller's friend on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You guys know who I'm talking about. He's in it. The guy that played the original Charlie X is in it. The guy that played, uh, there's at least one or two others that you'll recognize from the original series that came back 40 years later to play these roles. The Guardian of Forever is in it. It's a really good episode, and it's kind of like Good Universe, Evil Universe, but that's called Star Trek of Gods and Men. It's free. You can watch it on YouTube. It's worth watching. The guy that plays Martok is in it. There's just, you'll recognize a lot of people in it. Trust me. Okay. The guy that plays Saval in Enterprise is in it, as one of the renegades. But anyway, it's just really good. Lots of phaser fights, lots of running phaser fights, lots of ship battles and ships running into each other and shit. I mean, for Trekkies, it's really good, and it's got some of our beloved originals in it. And so, check that out. That's Of Gods and Men. And then beyond that, there's the Farragut series. I think if I was going to point you in a direction, it's a little cheesier, a little lower budget, but the Farragut, they made a bunch of episodes that were all based around the starship, the USS Farragut. I happen to like that crew. They're not even great actors, but I think they're amazing. I love the crew. I love the cast. And the writing has been pretty good on that one. So that would be the next one I would go try. Yes. Yeah, Renegades is out there, but it never was finished. There was something about that. They got, it was something, I don't remember. But I know there is stuff out there under Renegades that you can watch. There's also a bunch of other fan films, guys. There's Exeter Trek, which is about the time before Captain Kirk. Everybody's dressed like in the original pilot. It's kind of cool. There's also, oh God, I can't remember them all. There's a bunch. Just put in Star Trek fan films into YouTube. All the fan films are on YouTube because they're free. They're not allowed to charge money for them. They're not even allowed to monetize the commercials on them. That's an agreement with Paramount. So all this stuff is completely free. Yeah, they used a lot of the construction diagrams, even like the conference room table. They reproduced it. It's got the little mic, the little comms on it, and the little switch panels, and it's shaped like an aircraft carrier, just like the original one. A lot of people didn't realize Gene Roddenberry, a Navyman, a Navy pilot, had landed on aircraft carriers. And that table was shaped like a United States aircraft carrier. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that. Some fun things there. All the different, when you look up, there's all these numbers on all the tubes. You see those on TV, but you just ignore them, right? Well, they all mean something. Like you go up and look at the little tube, and there's like little words on it. And if you read it closely enough, it says stuff. Like a lot of them, GNDN. There's a lot of them marked GNDN 1, 2, 3 or whatever. What that stands for is goes nowhere, does nothing. The Farragut series is good. Yeah, Paramount got into a fight with the people that were making Renegades. So there you go. All right, enough of this. Let's get back to something else. All right, let's get back to news. I can't do Star Trek too long. I start losing people because some people just don't like science fiction. It's not their fault. It's just the way they were made. Anyway, just kidding. Kind of. All right, trans athletes. Guys, I hate to always bring this up, but this is a real problem. And I'm going to start it how I always do. Women's libbers, where the F are you? Where are you? Wearing t-shirts, taking off your bras, fighting for voting rights. Women should get equal job pay, maternity leave. I agreed with all of it. You guys fought the fight for 30 years, man. And now women are equals. Equals in the workplace, equals in the home, equals on the street, equals in politics. You guys did great. What are you doing now? Where are you at? Transgender athletes dominate 3 jumping events at California's postseason track meet. Hernandez, one of the guys that was a guy and now he's a girl with a dick, won the long jump and triple jump by wide margins and tied for first in the jump at Yorba Linda prelims. The California postseason track meet on Saturday opened with a Save Girls sports rally outside the gate. Yes, that's what we need. Save girls sports. When you let guys compete, it's not girls sports anymore. Women's libbers, put your bra back on and let's start fighting. What are we doing? Saturday, CIF South Section Division III preliminaries in Yorba Linda drew attention before competition began, with demonstrators protesting California's policy allowing transgender men. Now, I got news, okay? They're transgender. I'm going to stop calling them transgender. If you get that mother cut off, okay? You go get your twig and berries cut off. Now you're transgender. Now you're transgender. You've committed. You got your cock cut off. You've committed. That's good. Okay? I'll call you transgender. Now we'll figure out some other stuff. You still can't compete in women's sports, though, because you're still a man, even though your dick and berries are in one of those little metal bowls in the surgical ward. I don't know. I'm sick of people saying, "Oh, today I feel like a girl. I'm trans." No, you're not trans. Now, you can argue if you're taking hormones, then I guess you've started the process. I guess I could give you that. But these people, I'm going to propose a new term that I want to start using. They're trans-curious. Trans-curious. What? It works with bisexuals, right? Trans-curious. That means I kind of like dick, but I haven't actually done one yet. Trans-curious. Trans-curious means, yeah, I dress like a girl, I talk like a girl, but I got a cock and balls. That's what that means. So that way we can identify, are they trans? Are they in the process of transitioning? Or are they acting like the other sex? Are they cosplaying the other sex? There's a new word for it. I can't remember what it is, but ASMR, whatever. I forget what it is. Are they cosplaying a woman? Yeah, this week I'm going to play a woman, and I'm going to go beat all the other women, and then I'm going to shower with my junk in front of them. Where's the women's libbers? I got news for you. There's a bunch of them got to be rolling in their grave right now. Women that fought for women's sports now standing by while women's sports is taken away from women by men with dicks. Would you guys prefer I call it a schlong or a shank or a cock? What do you guys prefer? A pud? I mean, you guys have to tell me. I don't know. We used to have a contest at the fire department for rookies, and we would put them in a room, and we would make them write down as many names for the male genitalia as you can think of in 5 minutes. And whoever got the lowest one had to clean the toilets. I had guys come up with 100 names for a penis. A tallywhacker. By the way, Porky's. Yes, Porky's. I know what movie that's from. And yes, that scene in the principal's office is one of the best scenes ever shot in Hollywood. That was shot in one take. That woman that plays Beulah Ballbricker is amazing. She's amazing. She plays it perfectly. And the old man that plays the principal, God rest his soul. I know he's been gone for years now, but he was so good in that. And the assistant coach and the students in the back laughing through the whole thing. That was half ad lib. I think the woman that played Beulah Ballbricker was the only one on script. She came in and went through the script, and she did it like a professional, dude. She kept a straight face the whole time. They did that in one take, and they went home. That's the perfect scene. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Google Porky's principal's office scene. Watch it to the end without laughing. I dare you. Oh, boy. Tallywhackers. Can we call it a tallywhacker? Beulah wants a penis lineup. Oh, I just love that. That movie, Porky's, is a great movie. It's not like on my bucket list top 10 or anything, but it's a great movie. And even the second one was pretty good. The third one got out there. But what a great, that principal's office scene is the best scene in the movie. It's really good. Yeah, because his dick has a mole on it, so she wants to line the boys up and have them pull their pants down so that she can identify the cock that was stuck through the hole into the girl's shower room. Yes, it's a great movie if you've never seen it. There's a little bit of nudity. It's not sexual nudity, it's just nudity. But it's fun. It's a fun movie. Back when I was a kid, that was considered kind of a dirty movie. Although there is no sexual nudity, there is quite a bit of random nudity through the whole thing. Oh, that was a good movie. That was a great movie. All right, anyway, let's move on. The next thing is, just to finish up with this whole thing here, inside the focus turned to the jumping events where biological male H.B. Hernandez, this is the woman with the twig and berries, a senior from Jurupa Valley, competed against women and finished first across all three competitions with dominant record-breaking performances. Hernandez, a trans multi-sport athlete, previously involved in girls volleyball. So he was out there bouncing his twig and berries around with the girls volleyball team. Won the long jump division 3 prelim and triple jump division 3 prelim by wide margins and tied for first in the high jump division 3 prelim with Reese Hogan, an athlete with past ties to Hernandez. The long jumpers, see, men are holding all these awards now. These women that have held long jump records for 30 years, 10 years, 4 years, they're losing their records. And the women coming up now can never be the best. Now, a lot of places have ended this bullshit. A lot of the women's libbers have come back out of the woodwork and stood up and said, hey, what are we doing? But I can't figure out why women aren't standing up and saying, guys, we're giving up the ball. Here it is. We fought for women's sports, and now we're giving it up? And why? Why are we giving it up? What's the purpose? What was so important that we had to give up everything? I mean, we literally had to give up everything that they fought for when it comes to women's sports. Why? Well, to make the
of MMIW G2SLGBTQQIA+
crowd happy, which is important to them because that's where they get a lot of their support and everything else. And so these white liberal women that used to take their bras off and run through the streets and used to fight for this and fight for voting rights and fights for women's liberation and fight for equal salaries and fight to break through glass ceilings and all this, are just sitting by and letting this go because they're afraid to piss off the
Of MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA+.
community. What is wrong with that? These people were jumping, these men are jumping 1 and 2 feet further than the longest women jumping in the same competition. Why is that? Because they're men! Damn it! The moment you let men and women's sports like this, it's over. It doesn't matter anymore. There's no reason to have it anymore. It's now just another sport with men in it. This is perhaps one of the, other than maybe Queers for Hamas and the No Kings rally 2 weeks after the Kings rally, other than those two things, this has got to be probably the next in line for the most stupid, hypocritical thing that the left has done. Well, even some of that was seeping into the Olympics this last time around. We're going to have to see how much of it ends up there next time. It could potentially be the end of... Look, women's sports is already suffering. We already hear from these women all the time bitching about how, I don't make no money. I don't make no money. We got these women basketball players on there saying, look, the men make $1 million a season and we're only making like 10 grand a season. And I'm thinking, shouldn't your salary be directly based on asses in seats? Okay? You get paid just like an actor, okay? Just like a movie theater, just like any other place where there's entertainment. You get paid for asses in seats. If you don't have asses in seats, then forget about it. It's done. And the problem is, the Super Bowl of women's basketball, the biggest game of the year, has less people attending it than the smallest event of the year on the men's side. Take the two worst teams on the worst night with the worst turnout in 5 years, and they still get more than the Super Bowl does over in women's basketball. I don't know what it's called. I just call it the Super Bowl. But the women are bitching because they want equal pay. They want equal pay. And I just think how ironic this is that they're literally fighting for equal pay while at the other end over here they're about to lose women's sports altogether. They interviewed one of these women and she's like, hey, I go out there and play just as hard as the men. Yeah, I bet you do. And the people here at my local repertory theater group, they act just as hard as the people on Broadway. But they don't get paid like the people on Broadway, do they? Why? Because it's asses in seats. That's what it comes down to. Entertainment is about asses in seats, whether it's couches in front of TVs, whether it's sports stadiums, whether it's racetracks, whatever it is, it's asses in seats. Do you think the truck series drivers get paid anything like the NASCAR Cup drivers do? No. Asses in seats. They only have 10% of the attendance watching on TV and only 10% of the attendance in the audience. So they're going to get about 10% of the pay. Isn't it great how that works? My God, it's almost fair. So on one hand, they're wanting us to pay them the same as men, even though nobody goes and watches it. And on the other hand, they're perfectly fine with men coming in and playing women's sports. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's a paradox. Yeah, they're putting collegiate level women's teams up against high school men's teams, and the men win. Yes, we're men. That's the way it works. God built us this way. Men fight off the evil creature while the woman grabs the children and runs. This is how it works. Men are supposed to be bigger, taller, stronger. They're supposed to think tactically, where women are supposed to think, caring, loving, getting the family out of harm's way. Men, fight, do what we got to do to protect the homeland. This is the way we were built. We're built totally different. And to not acknowledge that and say that men can compete in women's sports, it is literally a non sequitur, especially considering the last 40 years of women's liberation. And that's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. I must drink me about 17 of Dr. Pepper. I gotta pay. More fraud in Minnesota. They're now finding that millions of dollars in nonprofit funds were being used to send these people, these detestable people that are using our money for fraud, to Vegas trips and buying them Harleys and liquor. Vegas, Harley's liquor. It's a great night. But yeah, isn't that crazy? This is more in Minnesota, Minnesota, where the tampons are in the men's room. Women, if you need a tampon, the one in the men's room might still have some left in it. Because they're just not used that much by men. We don't really have a convenient place to put them. Oh, God, I don't know. Forrest Gump, he went back to the White House 3 or 4 times. Because remember the one time he drank all those Dr. Peppers. Yeah. What do you think, Mama? Do you remember how many it was? No. She watches movies, but she doesn't seem to remember what happens. Anyway. They're all talking to you. You should say something. You're just going to sit there staring at the ground. Say something. Anything. Oh. I just don't know how you could be for something for your whole life and then all of a sudden it's okay. Putin dropped a big hint today. I think he's reaching an end. He's reached a point where his military's depleted by 30 or 40%, possibly more. And I think that Ukraine's holding his own because of all the help they're getting. And I have to admit, they've fought hard. And of course, we would fight hard too if it was our homeland. I get it. But anyway, so some hope there. Trump's working with them. And I'm sure Trump will be in the middle of it. Trump has brought more. Everybody's always talking about Trump war, Trump war, Trump war. Trump's already brought more peace than the last 3 presidents combined. And by the time we get this situation in Iran finished, the oil prices come back down, things are going to seem fine, I think. And some other good news. We had yet another court decision go the way of the Republican again. Another state has come out and ruled that Virginia this time, that they're not going to allow redistricting. Virginia was going to redistrict so that the entire state was just blue. And that was just struck down, especially after, we know about the Supreme Court ruling that's out. There's a Supreme Court ruling right now that says that you can no longer district based on race. Well, a lot of these states are now going to redistrict just because of that ruling. Ones that were not going to redistrict before. Louisiana is going to end up losing at least 2 Democrat districts. Florida lost 4. There's going to be a number of them. And so the good news right now, it looks like Republicans could pick up 10 or 15 congressional seats based solely on redistricting. Now, Congress, remember, they only serve 2 years. So every 2 years we have to go back and vote for congressmen again. It's ridiculous, but I think they should be 4-year terms, but that's just me. When you're always running, how can you even work for the people? You're always running for office. But anyway, so what ends up happening is let's say we do really bad in the midterms and we lose 15 seats. Let's say that the midterms go Democrat plus 15 in the House. Well, if we pick up 15 seats on on the redistricting, that still puts us plus 2. So, you know, this could be our saving grace. The other good news that's come out, it's looking more and more now like it's going to be really hard for them to retain the Senate. Or to get back to Senate, I should say. We should retain the Senate. It's looking, there was a time there where a lot of us were starting to think, hey, they've got several roads where they could make it to a +1 in the Senate. I think that's closing off. I think Ohio's kind of showing that now. We've got some really strong pro-Trump candidates in there now that are going to do good in the general. And I think what we're going to end up finding out is that we're not going to end up losing 15 seats. I think we may keep the seats. If we keep what we have now, plus add the redistricting, that's plus 15. So we're going to be sitting pretty. And my worries from 2 or 3 weeks ago when I was on vacation, I was starting to get really worried about this. I really was. And I'm still somewhat worried. But I was getting worried because there was a couple roads they had to get the Senate. If they got the House and the Senate, they would walk in and perp walk him out of the White House and put him in prison for the rest of his life. And after all the good that man's done for us, we can't let that happen. So, I believe that at this point, we're looking pretty. I think we're doing good. We just have to stay the course. We all have to vote. We have to vote. We have to vote. Did I mention that we have to vote? Very important that we do that. Even if you're in a state, the primary is important, but the general is very important. The one in November, you need to make sure in November that you go vote no matter what. It's true, deploribus, but there's a couple things other than 1 or 2 issues, like the Iran war is definitely an outsider issue, but for the most part, Trump has kept his campaign promises, you know, and I don't think the midterm, normally when you have a strong president that has the House and the Senate, you usually lose the House in 2 years. That's the trend. It happens nearly every single time. But I think it's not going to happen this time. And then now let's look forward. It's 26. You guys realize that we redistrict again in 2030. Okay? We redistrict again in 2030 when the new census numbers come out. Trump's working right now to make sure that this new census that we take does not include illegal aliens. And I got news for you. If that happens, the left will never sit in the House again, at least not like they are today. Because number one, Florida's going to pick up at least 3 or 4 more congressional seats, and they'll all be red. Texas is going to pick up 3 or 4 more congressional seats, and they'll all be red. And then you've got Georgia and Tennessee and all these other places that will likely pick up 1. And they'll all be red. And these are all coming from New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and of course California, Washington State, and Portland, Oregon. This is where they're all coming from. And so those states are all going to lose power and we're going to gain. Now, once that happens, I want you guys to think about this. The redistricting, then in 4 years, redistricting again, knowing that we're going to be picking up another bunch of seats. If we could pass the SAVE Act and get to fair elections, we have nothing to worry about. We have nothing to worry about. I mean, we're sitting prettier than we probably ever sat as a party. We're doing really good. And am I worried? Yes, of course, because politics can shift on a dime. Something could happen today. If he doesn't get this war resolved quickly and get these gas prices back down, all this shit I'm talking about's off. All right? We still get the seats. We still probably could hold on to a thin majority, but we really need to get that war over with and get these gas prices down, because people are getting sick of these gas prices. I can tell you that right now. I'm sick of these gas prices. I just went today and fueled my car, okay? $83 to fuel my little car. Well, it's not my standard size car. Yeah. All right, so let's take a quick peek at the weather, and then we'll move on. I got a couple more news topics. We're looking at in Oklahoma. Everything again tonight. Pretty much everything we're looking at is in Oklahoma. There's the composite view. There it is. There's not a lot going on. And the only thing we really have going on is down here. And Adam is already up here. He's in the center left. So I don't need to pull him up again on the radar. And this is what we've got. We've got 2 small severe thunderstorm warnings. And then we got this one large one up here. And that's pretty much what we have right now. So I'm leaving that up so we can keep an eye on it. But they did just drop the mesoscale discussion for the area. And I expect it to wane off here as the evening goes on. Yeah, as high as gas is right now, it's still a few cents cheaper than it got under Biden. And there was no reason for it to go up under Biden other than he shut down all the pipelines. He was cutting off new exploration. He was cutting off reopening new old wells. He was also choking back on refining. He did all these things to cause the gas to go up. Trump had it coming down beautifully. We were down about 250, and then this whole thing with Iran happened. But the point is Joe Biden's gas prices were still higher than this, and there was no reason for it. So this will go down very fast once this war's over. The market will be flushed with fuel, and everything will drop like a rock. Demand's up right now because we have tankers stuck, but also anxiety too. Once we can get rid of that anxiety, and we can also get tankers moving again, and things go well there, then our gas prices are going to drop pretty quickly here. I completely agree, Deploribus. Cheap energy fuels economic advances. That's absolutely true. It also fuels everything. Scientific advancements, human advancements, medical advancements. Everything's advanced when fuel prices are low because everything's happening. More is happening. And it's absolute truth. Yep. Okay, so there's that. Let me go back to here. All right. And I know it's kind of like, why is he not talking about all the UFO files? Well, it's a good question. I'm having a hard time parsing them. I do have some we're going to talk about right now, but it was very difficult for me to get into these files and find the ones I wanted to talk about because I'm having to pull everything out manually. But we're getting there. I'm working on a way to do it. Okay, we did that one already. Also, a lot of this reporting, I'm sitting here looking at the website now. A lot of this reporting there's a lot of codes, a lot of words I don't understand, a lot of acronyms that I don't know, and so it's difficult to get in here and pull each one out. But there is stuff we will be able to do. Let me see if I can get this to play. This is the air-to-ground communications from NASA Public Affairs audio feed.
Chili control
I think you
here
guys can
again.
hear it. All right, guys, this is the radio traffic. This is the audio recording of air-to-ground communications and the NASA Public Affairs audio feed with commentary recorded during the flight of the Gemini 7 mission. In this excerpt segment of audio, astronaut Frank Borman reports to NASA Mission Control in Houston his sighting of an unidentified object, which he refers to as a bogey. This sighting occurred on December 5th, 1965. The diagram includes Borman's initial report as well as additional comments by astronaut Jim Lovell, Borman's fellow crew member. Here's the audio traffic.
Chili control here again. Earlier in the flight, you'll recall at the start of the second revolution, we had a reference to several objects that the crew spotted. This was in the area of Antigua. Due to a mechanical breakdown, we did not have that portion of the tape available for you. This was a line breakdown between Building 30 and our news center in Building 6. Since then, we have dubbed a tape off the master tape here in the control center, and we are now prepared to play it for you. It contains references to sighting not only some particles, but as well as an unidentified object, plus the booster. Here's that tape. We'll play it for you now.
Gemini 7 here, Houston 98.
Loud and clear. 7, go ahead.
Bogey at 10 o'clock high.
This is Houston. Say again, 7.
So we have a bogey at 10 o'clock high.
Roger. Gemini 7, is that the booster or is that an actual sighting?
What?
Say again, 7.
Okay, we have several, looks like debris up here, actual sighting.
You have any more information, estimated distance or size?
But we also have the booster in sight.
Understand you also have the booster in sight, Roger.
And we have very, very many, looks like hundreds of little particles going by to the left out about 3 to 4 miles.
Understand you have many small particles going by on the left. At what distance?
4 miles. Large, looks like perhaps a vehicle that's disintegrated.
Roger, understand they're about 3 to 4 miles away.
They're past now, they're going to polar orbit.
Roger, and understand they were about 3 to 4 miles away.
From the pier line, or further.
Roger. Gemini 7, Houston, were these particles in addition to the booster and the bogey at 10 o'clock high? Roger.
7, this is, Houston, this is 7.
Go ahead.
I have the booster on my side as a brilliant body of the sun against a black background and with billions of particles around it.
Roger, what direction is it from you?
It's about at my 2 o'clock position.
Does that mean it's ahead of you?
It's affirmative, ahead of us, 2 o'clock, slowly tumbling.
Roger.
bogey. There were several references to the bogey. This is the unidentified object in addition to particles which appear to be headed in a polar orbit, you heard Frank Borman say, plus Jim Lovell discussing the booster. It was Borman who reported sighting the bogey. This is Gemini Control Houston at 4 hours, 24 minutes into the flight.
All right, that is that one, and this is Ted. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Ted. He's a little weird because he's never been out here but a couple times, and she's already been yelling cuss words at him because she don't like him in here, and he's growling. But yeah, this is Ted. He's a huge gray. This is the cat that was found in the parking lot. This is the cat that was found in the parking lot. I can hear you growling. Yeah, I hear that. That's amazing. But he was found in a parking lot in a pouring rainstorm. I think he fell out from under a car. Or out of an eagle's talon, for all I know. I'm not sure. Barely had his eyes open. Couldn't walk. The rain was so heavy he couldn't walk in it. And he was floating around in the inch of water that was in the parking lot. It was terrible. But he's got a great life now. He does all kinds of stuff. He's been up to my cabin twice, and he's done all kinds of stuff. I'll have to bring him, put him back, because he's acting weird. He lives in the house, so when he's out, when I bring him outside or out in here, he's a little on the freaky side. I wish he would just lay down and relax, but he won't do that. All right, so anyway, that was the radio communications there from the Gemini 7 mission, and I did find that one earlier. I do have a compilation video I can show you. And so I'm going to bring this over to the left screen here. I don't know if there's any audio with this or not. Yeah, I think there's music, which I'll kill. Okay, so what I'm going to show you guys next, this is a video that Coast to Coast put together. It's basically what we're going to kind of end the show with here. It's about 35 minutes of all these different things, and I'm just going to play them so you can see some of what's out there. I don't have the breakdown on each one, so I'm just going to play them for a while, and then we'll stop and talk, and we're going to keep on going. I don't think there's any audio other than copyrighted music, so I'm not going to be able to play the audio. But let me go ahead and put on, this is going to be the left screen overlay. And let me go ahead and just full screen. Yep, that'll work. Okay, here we go, guys. Let me transition. Let me trans the screen. And here we go. I'm going to play this. You guys can find this while it's playing. I'll put the link to it directly so you guys can go see it. But it's on the Coast to Coast website. There, see it go by, left to right. You got to look for the little arrow. It'll show it to you. See, there's something floating over there. And here we go. This one, it'll either be pretty obvious or sometimes they put an arrow to show you what you're looking at. See it fly by? Look at this one. This one's pretty cool. Freaking amazing. See it flying right there just by the crosshairs. See it? Look at it. Going right across the land, right above the ceiling, right above the people's rooftops, flying right by. Oh, whatever. This thing is a scam. Look, let me tell you guys something. Take this to the bank. If it's not expelling hot air into a different location, then it's not cooling a room. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It's simple thermodynamics, okay? You cannot cool something by circulating air. You cannot cool something by spraying water into moving air. You create a cooling effect, but it's very limited. The only way you can cool a room is to take the heat out of the room. The heat is a thing. It's a quantifiable thing. Cold is nothing. Cold is just the absence of heat. Heat is the thing. Heat is an actual thing. Okay? And if it's in here and you don't want it in here, you have to make a machine that takes it from in here and deposits it out there. That's why your air conditioner always has a part on the inside and a part on the outside. Now, if it's a window unit, they're both in one box, but there's still a part on the inside and a part on the outside. Okay? You have a compressor and then a condenser. And by compressing and condensing air, we're collecting heat on the inside and we are depositing it out on the outside. So these machines that they show you, oh, look, it cools the room in 20 minutes. Horse shit, okay? I live in Florida. You're not cooling shit down here unless you insulate the hell out of it and you take the heat from the inside and move it to the outside. There's no other way to cool. There's no other way. That thing is horse shit. I can't believe they sell it. It's a scam. All right, there. I'm sorry. I've been watching that ad for weeks, and it pisses me off. Lying ass bullshit. This one's so heavily covered. You can't really even see anything. Oh, there you go. Wow. Oh, look there's a bunch of them. Wow. Daddy gets along with all the kitties. That's one constant in the universe. Daddy helped raise him. That cat laid on Daddy for weeks. Daddy was his daddy kitty. So yeah, they get along great. And Gray, the one Eddie loves Ted and Littles. They live in the same room together pretty much, and they're all gray cats, and they get along great. You ready to go back? You ready? He's giving me that open mouth thing, which is, I smell other cats. And Mama is pissed at me right now. She is mad. She doesn't stay mad long, thank God. She's not like a human wife or anything. Look at that thing. He's got a lock on it. But the thing is it'll just disappear at some point. Like, phew. That's the article I just put in. If you guys want to watch this video on your own, full screen. Oh yeah, the left is always at war with the right, and yeah, the left uses climate change. Climate change has become a religion. It really has. Climate change has become a religion. You ready, buddy? Let's go back. Come on. Oh, God, he's huge. This cat is huge. Say hi to everybody. What was that? Huh? What was that? You want to growl for everybody? No? You guys hear that? You guys scared now, aren't you? Are you scared? You should be scared. He's a big scary kitty. I'll go pull him back. Oh, I hear you, big man. What is this bullshit? Oh, it's an ad. I love how they just keep popping up the frickin' ads. All right, there we go. I know they're annoying, but they're how some of us have to try to make money off of this a little bit, because money keeps you going. Mama, are you still mad at me? Are you okay now? She says, yeah, you put that asshole out. I'm fine. They all get along with Daddy. Even her, she gets along with Daddy because Daddy helped her with her 2 children. I took her in with 2 kittens. And Daddy raised those 2 cats too. That's why all the cats around here love Daddy Kitty, because he's raised them all. Even the mama kitties that I've gotten all fixed, they stay friends with him because he helped them with their babies. A white kitty? No, I don't think so. I'm going to be honest, I steer clear of white cats because they generally have health problems, but I don't pick my cats. My cats pick me. Most white cats get a great home. Most black cats end up in a shelter. So I've always, anytime there's a cat, somebody says, I got a cat and I can't find nobody to take it, it's a black cat, I'll usually go get it because I know that nobody wants black cats. And it sucks because they make some of the best pets. Mama Bleep, she's just some inbred cat from down the street that wandered up here pregnant and barefoot one day. And I took her in, and Daddy Kitty helped her raise her babies, and I helped her, and I think Carlotta was here some and helped too, and yep. So you can see, guys, they have released a lot of new footage. Now, does this footage tell us what we're looking at, really? I mean, no, it's just more proof that there is definitely something going on out there, something anomalous, something that really can't be, can't really be explained. The Great Solar Flash. Haven't done a lot of studying on it, but I will tell you, I did listen to a Coast show about it a few years ago, and basically, for those of you who don't know, the Great Solar Flash is like, it's like a spiritual and metaphysical concept, and it predicts basically some kind of massive transformative energetic event that basically originates from our own sun, it's a lot of times it's associated with the ascension of our souls and things like that, to higher dimensions, fifth dimension consciousness, so on. Sometimes it's linked to a 13,000 year cycle of cosmic events. Some people view it as a liberation event, liberating our spirits, things like that. And also some believe that it actually involves our DNA. So yeah, an interesting field to study, not one I've studied a lot into. Many proponents suggest that the event is imminent, with some sources claiming that it is a cataclysmic shift in human timeline. But of course, nobody knows when or where. This concept is explored in spiritual literature, such as in the works of authors like Michael Love, which detail the event's history and future impact. It is often portrayed as a grand portal for light, acting as a sacred act of illumination rather than a purely destructive physical disaster. Yeah, no, this is interesting stuff. Some of it's linked to ancient records and cosmic law. And it's a permanent change in humanity when it happens. It's largely viewed as a new age or spiritual perspective on the way the world works. Yeah, it's not really mainstream, but it's definitely, a lot of people are reading and writing about this out there. Look at that thing flying around. Now that's probably some kind of lens flaring that we're seeing. I don't think the object actually looked like something on your Christmas tree, but it might. God, these ads are terrible. Sometimes I wish they'd just use AI because it'd be better than this dumbass ad they made. Mama Kitty. I don't think Mama believes in UFOs, but I'm not sure. She won't really tell me. Yeah, they black out all of the stuff that have to do with the name of the pilot, the mission. All that stuff is still, just because they release a file doesn't mean that everything in that file is released. There's still redactions that we're dealing with. I have no idea. I mean, if it happens, I mean, just like every other theory out there, we don't know if this is what's going to happen. What could we possibly base this on? The knowledge of this ancient writings 13,000 years ago? I mean, I don't know. To say this is eminent, I wouldn't go that far. To say it's something that's definitely worth researching and looking into, sure, I agree. She is still upset with me. She's whipping me with her tail. That's her telling me that I'm still a little aggravated with you, butthole. Yep. White cats are cool. I've just never had one, I don't think. We had a white one here that had a few spots. And I had a white one that was half white and half like calico color. But he was like 2/3 white. That was my D. We called him Little Devil or LD. And he was a great cat. He lived for 17 or 18 years. Died in my arms. Wow, that's interesting. I'd like to see that particular entry. Like I said, I've been going through these. I got home a lot later than I thought I would today. I spent the afternoon with my client in Naples working on his computer, and it was good. You know, we got a lot done, but then we went and had some dinner on the way home, and we went to Golden Corral. Man, I love me some Golden Ass Corral. What the hell? You know, sometimes you see people walking around in your yard and you just have to go do something. It's a family member. I didn't realize he was here. I got family that literally lives a block and a half down the street. And some of them live here, and it's kind of back and forth. And so I wasn't sure somebody was here, but yeah, someone's here. Okay, so anyway, guys, that's pretty much what I got for tonight. We're coming up on 11 o'clock. There's still plenty of this video This entire video can be seen at that link that I put in there on the Coast to Coast website. And you guys can check that out. I know that we're going to be covering this as of Monday. I can't really get into it. They don't want us doing too much official announcing, but for my crew here, I'll let you know that my radio show is going to be on TV starting next week. We're going to be on the local CW channel, and you'll actually, I believe, be able to stream us, and you can actually see the show on TV. And I'll have information in a week or so on all that, so you guys will be able to check that out. That's my other show that I do during the evening, early evening. I produce The Drive with Trey Radel on 92.5 Fox News, and we're now going to be on TV as well. And I'll have more information on that next week. That's going to be really cool. They've been putting all the equipment in my control room, and I'm getting nervous because they've added a bunch more buttons for me. So, not sure if I like that or not. But yeah, so it'll be cool. That's coming up. And tomorrow I will be gone for the better part of the day. I'll be getting home around 4 in the afternoon. I will be checking when I get home to see what breaking news is happening out there. And if there's breaking news, I will be going on early tomorrow. Same thing for today, but there wasn't any breaking news. I couldn't find anything that was worth going on about. So, wow, what's going on? I think we just got kind of busy here over on the weather. We just picked up a severe thunderstorm warning, an extension here on a previous severe thunderstorm warning. Is this what we've got? Let's see here. We got observed 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts with this one, hail 1 inch. So yeah, it's a pretty nasty storm cell right here. Let's take a look at it on the local radar. Lots of lightning, guys. Lots of lightning with this storm. And you can see the white dots there. Lots of lightning. And we do have a storm chaser out there, but it's at night. And this is just a severe thunderstorm warning. So probably not going to be a lot to see there. All right. Anything else, guys? Check in the chat room for the last time. Let's see if there's anything else in there that you guys might want to talk about. Each night I'm going to come on with 2 or 3 different files out of the disclosure files, different videos, different radio traffic, and I'll be doing a little bit each night. I'm not going to oversaturate it. I'm going to spend about 20 or 30 minutes each night doing 1 or 2 of these files. There's a lot here. There's no sense in rushing this. You're also going to be hearing and seeing it everywhere else too, so this is going to be a good thing, but there's a lot here to go through. And not everything is really easy to understand. Sometimes I have to look up 10 different acronyms or whatever to figure out what they're even talking about. So some of this stuff's easy, some's not. Getting AI to parse it has been harder than I thought it would be. And so that's kind of slowed me down. All right, let me make sure I don't think my chat room's moving. Let's see. Nope, I guess it is. Okay. All right, guys, the numbers have been up just a little bit. The free fall on my subscribers has been abated. I only lost 2 subscribers in the last 24 hours. So that's a lot better than the 10 or 20 I've been losing for the last 3 or 4 weeks. YouTube has been going through pruning, and they are on a purge cycle, and they're trying to get rid of a lot of old dead accounts and stuff like that. Vicariously, what that ends up doing for me is it makes me lose subscribers for weeks at a time, and it begins to weigh on me psychologically. It's really hard not to think that you're doing something wrong, or that your product is waned off and that people don't want to watch it anymore. I have reached a bit of a glass ceiling, but we're going to keep right on working through that. You know, I was at a glass ceiling for 6 months, and then all of a sudden we had that big hurricane in Jamaica, and I met thousands and 10,000 new people, and we had 6,000 subscribers just from that one storm. And that made our channel a lot bigger. So basically, I'm doing this every night. I'm stoking the fire. I'm keeping the fire burning every night. But when something really big does happen, I'll be there, and we'll get on there and we'll get it covered so that we can get the, we can get the new viewers. That's what it's all about, is getting new viewers to watch the product and to like it and get on board with us, basically. And so that's what we're doing. If you guys know anybody that might be interested, just send them a thing, see if they might like it. It is what it is. All right, one last thing here real quick. A shocking video shows a giant black plume of smoke rising from a Tennessee plastics recycling facility. Henry, not Hendry like down here, but Henry County Sheriff's Office reportedly issued a shelter-in-place order for the county. And here, I'm going to put it here for you. Look at this thing. Oh, give me a break. Oh, yeah. Look at it. Shut up. Look at this, guys. This was, absolutely incredible. This happened today. This was in Tennessee. And, it's a plastics recycling plant. I'm trying to get the information to come up here. Stop skipping around, you bastard. Video showed a giant black plume of smoke rising from the Sigma Renew 360 facility, part of Sigma Plastics Group. I'm not against recycling, but it is important to note that recycling does bring on a danger. We start stacking combustibles and flammables together for recycling, and we've had a number of these big recycling plants go up, and that's what happens. That's what ends up happening. Anyway,
60% of sales
oh,
on
for
Amazon
Christ's
come
sake.
from independent sellers. John from
I get so sick of the ads. Everything's just ad saturated now, and nobody gives a shit. It's unclear if there were any injuries or fatalities. We're still waiting to hear. The Henry County Sheriff's Office did issue a shelter-in-place order for people in the immediate area, especially those with respiratory issues, according to a local report on WTVF. Sigma Plastic Group did not immediately respond to Fox News Digital request for comment. Well, what are they going to comment? Oh, shit, our stuff's on fire. Henry County is in the northwestern part of Tennessee, about 2 hours west of Nashville. So I'm normally over on the east end of Tennessee in the mountains. This is way over on the west end, west of Nashville, like north of Memphis. All right. Nope, that's it. That's all they got. But there you go. There's some shots of it. Absolutely an amazing situation there. Going on with that huge recycling plant out there. Okay, so that's what we got. I think that's about it as far as the news goes. Last call for the chat room, and I'm going to be signing off. It's 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 o'clock on the left coast behind enemy lines. More fraud being found now, this time in Ohio, a state that's somewhat red even. We're finding out that there's foreigners creating fraud all over the place in Ohio. And it's opening up now, just like the deal in Minnesota and now California. Now we've got Ohio. I think we're going to find this in every state. I think we'll even find some here in Florida. I think we're going to find some in Texas, because these people have found a way around the law in just about every square foot of the land, unfortunately. It's a lot of Somalis, some Haitians, different ethnicities from all different places, and they've come here, many of them illegally, many of them legally. They come here and they immediately begin to abuse our systems and to steal our tax money, and it's just not fair that if you are an American citizen, you work an American job, you had American parents, and you are just a normal, average human being, It's not fair that you should have to pay for all of your health care and all of your health care devices, and you have to pay for daycare for your child, and you have to pay for end-of-life care, and you have to pay for all of these other things that for somehow the Somalis get for free. And then we find out they're not actually using the resources. They're just taking the money. I'm coming, Mama. You want to go out? She spends some time. Sometimes she spends overnight outside. She likes that. Usually during the day when it's hot, though, she likes to be in here. Yep, I agree. All right, let's see. We really haven't covered the plague ship out there all that much. Yep, and like I said, guys, we won in Louisiana with the redistricting. We just won in Virginia. We won at the Supreme Court. The truth is, the days of making districts specifically because of how many black folks live in them is over. Okay? Black folks, white folks, brown folks, yellow folks, green folks, blue folks, everybody gets the same shot now. And that's the way it should be. We're no longer a racist society, right? I mean, the only people that get shit thrown at them now are the Jewish people for some reason. I can't figure out the Jew hate. But yeah, we don't have this problem anymore, right? And due to affirmative action and stuff, in many places, black folks have an easier time getting a job than white folks. So we fixed these problems. So why does it keep coming up? Why is it's always coming up? Well, come to find out, up until this year, they were redistricting or districting for congressional districts. That's what we're talking about. Okay? They were addressing these seats, and they were trying to rearrange the seats to give themselves an advantage. And over the years, they've gerrymandered. Okay, it's a weird term that came from a Democrat named Jerry, who gerrymandered so bad that they said it looked like a salamander and that it meandered all over everywhere. And because of that, we got the term gerrymandering. It's actually named after a Democrat that started this whole bullshit. And they have to have majority minority districts. What does that mean? Well, what it means is a district that's in a majority white state must have X amount of districts that have more black folks than white folks in the district. In other words, it's a gimme for Democrats, basically. It's crazy, but it's true. Well, the Supreme Court for the first time just did away with that. So now Louisiana is redistricting. Virginia's redistricting. Every place is trying to redistrict. And the places that are trying to redistrict, like Virginia, trying to redistrict based on black populations and majority minority districts and things like that, they're getting shot down. They're getting shot down. And now we've got a Supreme Court ruling that says that no, you shall not. You shall not go out there and create these districts based on how many black folks live. When you create districts based on how many black folks live there, that's racist. Okay? It's racist. So, not anymore. Nope. Yeah, deploribus, it frightens me how much of our daily currency is sent through transactional apps over to Somalia and Haiti and places like that. I mean, these are the buttholes of the earth, okay? These are absolute shitholes, and I don't care if anybody takes offense. All right? Haiti is completely deforested. They've completely squandered every resource on that island, down to the point that they're literally living in mud huts. And that's the way it is. And Somalia is not much better. Hell, the number one employment in Somalia is being a pirate. And they come here legally and illegally, and because of the left, they steal us blind. All right, they make a big deal about a Tesla recall. Oh, they're recalling all the trucks because of some major... They're recalling a few of the trucks that were made during a certain period of time because of some wheel issue. But as usual, the left-wing media is blowing it out of proportion because, remember, they hate Tesla now. They used to love Tesla. The left loved Tesla. Everybody loved Tesla. The left loved Tesla. And then Elon Musk came out pro-Trump, and now they were burning down Tesla car lots, remember? Ridiculous. The left is just ridiculous every time. All right, guys, I guess that's going to do it. It's 11:09 on the East Coast, 7:09 on the left coast, and 9:09 in Tampon Timland, where the tampon dispensers are proudly hanging in all the men's rooms in the state, and everything is great. Look, nowhere in the world do men have the availability of women's feminine products like they do in Minnesota. I mean, it's just an amazing thing. I think they should have douches and douchebags available too. Oh, wait, they do. They're called politicians. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, if you think about it. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. That's going to be it for tonight, everybody. I'm watching the chat for just a few more minutes, and I'll leave you guys with a song on the way out, so that you guys can check that out. Trying to find one I haven't played yet, or played in a while anyway. All right, here we go. All right, guys, we'll see you guys next time. My name's Ian. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. This is the end of our Saturday night edition. We'll be back tomorrow, maybe a little early if news is breaking. We'll be back tomorrow night for our Sunday night edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on Starship Adventures. Everybody have a great night out there. Sleep tight and have a safe tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right back here on the channel. Have a good night, everybody, and we will see you later.
Midwest 2026. While real Americans work, some are out there waving red flags. This one's for the patriots. Well, it's May Day again and the usual crowds out, marching through our cities with their communist shout, waving hammers and sickles, burning our flag, screaming workers of the world, while real folks just gag. They hate this country, that much is clear. They spit on Old Glory every single year in a capital freedom and a Trump, just a bunch of spoiled brats throwing one big tantrum. These Mayday rallies are anti-American trash, communist clowns doing the red flag smash. They hate our freedom, they hate our way of life. They'd rather burn it down than see this country thrive. But we stand tall with the red, white, and blue Trumps in the White House, and we're coming through. The right's on the right side, fighting for what's true, while the left keeps backing every tyrant in view. They scream workers over billionaires with their iPhones in hand, funded by elites who own half the land. Pro-Hamas, pro-Maduro, pro-every damn dictator, while real Americans stand with the liberator. Trump derangement syndrome got them losing their minds, hating everything good, everything that shines. They cheer for the terrorist, the thug, and the crook, while we stand for the Constitution in this great book. These Mayday rallies are anti-American trash, communist clowns doing the red flag smash. They hate our freedom, they hate our way of life. They'd rather burn it down than see this country thrive. But we stand tall with the red, white, and blue Trumps in the White House, and we're coming through. The right's on the right side, fighting for what's true, while the left keeps backing every tyrant in view. They shut down cities, block roads, and hurt working folks, while real Americans keep the engine full throttle and stoked. They want open borders, they want chaos and pain. They cheer when America's losing the game. From New York to LA to Chicago town, they're out there screaming death to America with a frown. But we built this nation with blood, sweat, and tears, and we ain't letting these radicals steer. The right fights for freedom, for God, and for country. We stand with the good guys, the righteous, the plenty. The left always picks the wrong side of history. They fight from the moral low ground, that's their misery. They back the oppressor, the terrorist crew, while we stand with the people who love red, white, and blue. So wave your flags higher, patriots, don't bend. These Mayday losers don't speak for real Americans. They're a loud, angry minority throwing their fit, while the silent majority's sick of their shit. Trump's making us strong, bringing jobs back home. They scream in the streets cause it hurts their syndrome. We love this country, we'll fight for her still, the greatest nation, and we always will. These Mayday rallies are anti-American trash, communist clowns doing the red flag smash. They hate our freedom, they hate our way of life. They'd rather burn it down than see this country thrive. Oh, but we stand tall with the red, white, and blue Trumps in the White House, and we're coming through. The right's on the right side, fighting for what's true. The left's on the wrong side, and we're coming for you. Yeah, we're the good guys. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. And to hell with your communist Mayday dreams.
Trump and all, welcome back to reality.
Is that
special someone in your life screaming at the TV every time they see our president? Crying in public because literally Hitler just tweeted? Still wearing their Teachers Union supporter shirt from 2012 while yelling fascist and Nazi? Well, help is finally here. Introducing Trumpanol, the leading treatment for acute Trump derangement syndrome in adults. Available in original Trumpanol daily tablets, MAGA strength Trumpanol for MSNBC addicts still crying about 2016, Trumpanol anal suppositories for when the derangement is really deep-seated, Trumpanol butthurt cream for triggered snowflakes, Trumpanol overreaction ointment to calm hysterical meltdowns, Preparation Orange for that burning sensation every time they hear his name, Trumpavol to finally let go of their Oval Office obsession, MAGA ears to stop hearing racist and fascist in every sentence, Trump drops to dry up the endless tears over mean tweets and see reality for the first time, MAGA middle for monthly emotional cycles triggered by Fox News, MAGA, the performance enhancer that makes your sex life great again. Hopefully this will help her chill out. Trumpalax, the powerful laxative that helps them shit out years of liberal brain rot. Trump wipes for cleaning up after explosive emotional diarrhea on social media. Trumpicillin, the antibiotic that kills TDS bacteria and CNN talking points. Trunquil, the nighttime bitching, complaining, protesting, hating, stupid head fever so you can rest medicine. Slip into a peaceful acceptance of reality. Trumpanol, for rapid onset TDS, comes with a fact-acting IV applicator. Trumpacid, calm your belly when the bad orange man comes on TV. Patriot patches, for steady and continuous medication so you don't relapse in the office later. And LibBlock condoms, specially formulated to attack and kill liberal or socialist sperm, because the last thing you want is little liberals running around with your last name. Trump PM, get a good night's rest and wake up loving your country. Trumpacaine, a topical analgesic that will put away the pain of defeat after the next election. Trump Anti-Raid Rub, it's gonna be a great massage. Trumpozak, specially formulated to ease the anxiety associated with red hats, orange hair, and the success of others. MAGA tugging cream, to prevent friction injury while she is spending all that time protesting. Trumpilium, mood stabilizer for the real crazy ones that need extra help. Trump adrenaline blocker, for when you can't stop yourself from running down an ICE agent. Trump Zempic, because no one should have to be fat and liberal. MAGA meltdown gummy bears infused with THC, a fast-acting way to take your medicine. Comes in 2 flavors, original and now the new freedom flavor. Trumpons, absorb your monthly meltdowns with Trumpons approved for use in Minnesota men's rooms. Comes with the orange MAGA applicator. Finally, if all this does not work, try alcohol. Introducing the new Landslide Lager, a Trumpanol-infused alcoholic beverage. Drink your ignorance away with Landslide Lager. Trumpanol is a medication that works fast to reverse the debilitating symptoms of TDS and bring your loved one back to reality. Side effects may include uncontrollable urges to be nice to the people around you, sudden improvement in critical thinking skills, excessive consumption of red meat and outdoor grilling, spontaneous outbursts of America, enthusiastic patriotism, flag waving, and an inexplicable desire to get a job or start a nuclear family. Patients have also reported increased tolerance for differing opinions, temporary loss of victimhood, sudden appreciation for border security, complete remission of pronouns and biosyndrome, spontaneous voting for lower taxes, and in extreme cases, you may even become an entrepreneur and start your own productive business. Do not take Trumpanol if you are allergic to winning, common sense, or constitutional republics. Available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Buc-ee's, Radio Shack, Sky King Fireworks, the Portland Airport, in the Portland Mall, and in the Trumpanol kiosk at the ICE building in Portland, Oregon. Or just buy it wherever fine psychedelic and hallucinogenic drugs are sold. Trumpanol. Get back to reality. Stop being a crazy bitch. Ask your doctor if Trumpanol is right for you.
Trumpanol, welcome back to reality.
This is the YouTube channel Starship Adventures, broadcasting live from Starship Studios in North Fort Myers, Florida, in the United States of America. We thank you for joining us this evening for another broadcast of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, covering every breaking news story across this troubled planet of ours. We brought you the raw, unfiltered pulse of the world in real time through our unique multi-screen format, broadcasting in high definition worldwide via fiber optic connection. Starship Adventures, a new kind of YouTube content. To our regular viewers, our loyal crew members, our amazing moderators, and everyone who tunes in each night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we thank you. Your support keeps this independent voice alive and well. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern with another live edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, right here on Starship Adventures. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and may God bless you and these United States of America. This is Starship Adventures, and this concludes our broadcast day. Good night, America, and around the world. Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Foxtrot Sierra, signing off. QSY, 7 3s, everyone, 7 3s.